I have been staring at this scoreboard for hours. It's perfect. 27-9, the Buckeyes defeat Michigan. Our overreactions are coming in real hot. We have earned the right. We have waited 4 years. Well, we've been overreacting in different ways the past few years. This year we get to overreact in possibly some good ways to Michigan losing to Ohio State. The Buckeyes beating the Wolverine back to where they should be, and that's beating Michigan to move on to the Big Ten title, to move into the playoffs. That's life as a Buckeye fan. That's how it should be, and that's how it is right now. How it was on the watch party, booming. Boy, did we have a good time there. We were setting records. We were giving away prizes. We were talking ball. Over 200,000 viewers, live viewers in the thousands. I mean, just a great time overall on our watch party. If you haven't been a part of one, the Big Ten title is a perfect time to jump in. Hit that sub button and join us on our road to 20,000 subscribers and on our watch parties every Ohio State football game. Do want to give you injury news per usual. We like to kind of give you guys that update. Look, I think for Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate, we just wanted to see them out there. We wanted to see how they look. We wanted to see what Ryan Day thought after the game. Both guys played 3+ quarters, touchdowns, catches, took hits. Jeremiah Smith had a good time. Carnell Tate had a good time. You're getting great photos, great pics. I mean, it was the day you could have wanted for these guys. There was no pull them off the field. There was no limping. There was no leaving the game, the tunnel, coming back. It was all good. Ryan Day, after the game, though, really breaking down what it took for these guys to play. For Jeremiah Smith, very, very limited in practice this week. For him to play the way he did with really not getting many reps all week is a tribute to him. On both receivers, talking Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith, if you really know how much work, if you really knew how much work they put into the on-the-field stuff and how gutsy they are, I'm sure the fans and everybody would appreciate what they did in going out there and putting it on the line. This leads us into our first overreaction from the Buckeyes victory. You heard that right. You're not dreaming. Buckeyes are back, baby. They beat Michigan. The wide receivers are good going forward. Everything's fine. Health is fine. They look good. They're going to play in all the games. Unfortunately, guys, I still think this is an overreaction. I loved what I saw from both receivers, Smith and Tate. However, at this point in time, looks like you got 4 games to go. That's how it looks. That's how you're set up. Big Ten title, and I think win or lose, it looks like you're only going to play 3 games after that. You got to make it 4 more games. Now, those guys looked awesome today, better than I expected. I did not expect, especially Carnell Tate, to move the way that he did for Ohio State's offense. I mean, the highlight of Jeremiah Smith cooking Michigan still going around right now, but you still have 4 top-notch, real-deal games to go. You face the number 2 team in the country in Indiana in the Big Ten title, and then all top 12 teams after that in the playoffs. I think it's an overreaction to think these guys are just set, good, no need to worry anymore, and good moving forward. However, I want to gauge it with you guys. We've been doing this for, 2 weeks now. We've been scaling the injury things. Maybe you were, I know a lot of you were worried. Maybe you're a 5 going into this game. You saw the way they played. What do you scale it now? Or vice versa, however you want to think about the situation. Your concern level over the wide receiver injuries for Tate, Smith, even Quincy Porter, who's out right now, scale it for me 1 to 10 down below. Oh, he's repeating one of his overreactions. Yeah, because I think it's worth revisiting. The defense being able to carry you in big-time games. Not just the talent level of Michigan, which I do think was there, but the game itself on the road, in bad weather, your defense showed up and showed out. Ryan Day leaned on this group all day, which is why I believe is a proper reaction to say you can lean on this defense for wins. Okay, I was talking earlier in the week, and you guys know I talked here and there and just said, hey, I think if the defense just holds somebody to under 10 points, 17 can win it. 10 would have won it. 10 points would have won this game against Michigan. That's insane to think. Michigan, probably not as good as the other teams you are going up against soon, but still a big boost and a proper action to think that this defense could carry you in games like today. Do want to let you guys know today's episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. The holiday season, best time of year for sports, bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there is only one place where it feels good to be right. Prize Picks. Simple to play, 2 to 6 player stat projections, more or less on at least those 2 player stats. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. 2-pick power play we had lined up for today. The more on Bryce Underwood didn't go too well. The Buckeyes stopped him too much. I don't know what you want me to say. More on Jeremiah Smith's rushing or receiving touchdown. That's right, rushing or receiving. And he has a rushing touchdown on the season, so that's not out of control to think about. That is what we had for today. Good example of a 2-pick power play. Now, I do want to note, I copied that from our producer, Aiden Paris, and you can too. Whether it's me, a celebrity, a friend, whatever you guys want to do with that, all you have to do is copy their lineups in one click. Check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on Prize Picks. Also worth noting, withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Speaking of carrying the team, Bo can carry you. Can Bo Jackson carry this group? If an offense based around a freshman running back, something you could run with. Look, I think it's an overreaction to say that. This is clearly a team that really leans on its 2 very talented receivers. We saw that again today. We saw it in the past few weeks that I think the Buckeye offense gets pretty ugly when they're just leaning on the run. However, if you had to lean on Bo Jackson, beating the Michigan offense, more yards at 166 all-purpose yards for Ohio State. I say it's an overreaction for Jackson to be your main source of offense or your only source of offense and still win a game. However, I say that lightly. I think he's very, very good, and he impressed today against Michigan, which, if you agree with me, if he impressed that 166 total yards against the Wolverines, if you were impressed by Bo, a freshman, mind you, this time last year he was playing high school football in Cleveland. If you're impressed with Bo, spam your Bo's B-O down below. The Buckeyes will most likely, I don't know, are we already talking transfer portal? I'll stay off that. The Buckeyes probably have to play Bryce Underwood 2 more times. Once in Columbus and then again in the Big House. What I saw today was just nothing impressive. I'm sorry. Not one time was I saying to myself, I'm worried Bryce Underwood's going to break a big run, make a big pass, really gash the defense. What does Bryce Underwood do well? Mind you, a home game in his home state. I heard all week about how Julian Sayin would struggle to play in the cold, would have issues in the cold, wasn't built for it. The kid from the state of Michigan, those are his stats in what is the biggest game of the year, in what was his chance to go to the playoff. You say to yourself, well, he's just a freshman, he's just 18 years old. Paid like a pro, acts like a pro, talks like it, and then given the opportunity here, you only get 3 years of Bryce Underwood. A lot of freshmen doing very well. Bo Jackson, who we just talked about, that's a freshman. That's 18, 19 years old, just like Bryce Underwood. I think Underwood's overrated. I think he proved it today. We will see going into the future. I think more matchups to come between the Buckeyes and Bryce Underwood. Speaking of California cool, Julian Sayin was awesome. All I heard all week, especially from our James Yoder at the Michigan Football Report, was the cold would bother Julian Sayin. It was the final test. Road games, I guess playing from down still seems to be a big deal, even though the Buckeyes were trailing in this one early after an interception. Oh, yeah, that's right. He passed all the tests. Sayin's done everything you've asked of him. Lead this offense with the receivers out. Check. Win on the road. Check. Get these guys to buy in on you. These guys are still talking about a Heisman campaign for Julian Sayin. And then that final task, beat Michigan in bad weather. Check, check. Ryan Day has a lot of belief in Julian Sayin. And the question of, is he ready for the playoffs? Come on now, that's a proper reaction. Sayin's ready to rock. I've always been saying Michigan and Indiana will help his Heisman cases. I don't know, the Heisman situation is tough for him right now, but I'm pumped. Ohio State and Indiana in the Big Ten title. Sayin's ready for that, and Sayin's ready for the playoffs.